No, I'm not moving out your fucking way. It's just... I'm not moving over. She's like waving her hand at me to move over. It's like, no, I'm not moving over and putting myself in the gutter and and fucking blocking off my safety bubble just so you could get moving, love. I have much of right to fucking... damn you, woman. 30 mile an hour, mate. 30. Cock. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the Countbiff channel. God, it's a beautiful Saturday. I thought I'd do a little vlog, actually literally just inspired by my quick visit to BMW Morad Maidenhead. I guess what I wanted to know was, what's your experience with your local dealership been like? How helpful have they been? This is my local one. This is Barnstormer Maidenhead, and they are awesome. I've never dealt with a motorcycle dealership before. As you know, I've only been riding a year. This is my first ever bike, and so Barnstormer Maidenhead are the only people I've ever dealt with. I've dealt with car dealerships before, and I've dealt with, and where I got my VW camper, I dealt with VW before. And I have to say, my experience of car dealerships has been that they generally they're not that helpful. I mean, they'll do a service and they'll do a good job, but they don't ever feel to me like they go above and beyond. And little things that BMW Maidenhead have done for me have made me into just a person who loves BMW bikes. And I'm going to talk about the service that they've given me, but I'd love to hear what you guys have experienced with your dealerships, different, like Triumph dealerships, whatever. But BMW Maidenhead have definitely gone above and beyond for me, and I want to keep going back. I take my business to them, even though, yes, going to a main dealership is more expensive, but the service they provide me gives me the confidence and the loyalty. And a good example of what they've just done for me, I did my daily checks today, and I've only recently started checking my coolant, and I'm going to have a bit of a stupid moment here. I didn't realise I had a radiator on this bike. So yes, let the mockery start in the comments, but I only found out I had a radiator because I went on a maintenance course last weekend, and whilst the guy was talking about the kind of things you should check, he said you need to check your coolant level unless you've got an air-cooled bike. And I said, well, my bike is air-cooled, so I don't need to do that. And he went, aren't you riding a BMW F800R? And I went, yeah. And he said, yeah, that's got a radiator, mate. And I went, no, I've checked. And my checking was, I looked at the thing at the front that looks very much like a radiator to me and went, there's nowhere to put any water in it, so it's got to be air-cooled. Of course, what I didn't do is have a real good look, and there is somewhere to put coolant. So anyway, this morning, before going out for my ride, I did my daily checks, checked the tyres, checked the lights, lubed up the chain a little bit, checked everything else that you're supposed to check, and I thought, I'll check the coolant. So I'd read the manual, and I had a look at it, and I thought, that looks a bit low to me. It looks like it's just below the minimum line. And then I read about how you do the coolant, and oh my god. In order to top up the coolant, you've got to take the seat off, then you've got to take this centre panel thing off, then you've got to take this side panel thing off, so you can top the bloody coolant up. And I was like, oh man, I really don't want to do all that shit. I know, I'll go to BMW and see if they think, just to check that I'm reading it right. I popped it down to Maidenhead, and they're busy today. Saturday is a really busy day for them. And one of the guys that I talk to whenever I go in there, I was like, yeah, look mate, I think my coolant's a bit low, but I'm not sure. Can you just get somebody to check it for me? So they took the bike off me, and I kind of waited for about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, and I'm thinking, oh fuck, maybe there's a bloody hole in this radiator, and they're just looking at it. And then he came back in and he went, yeah, you were right, it's low. And I was like, oh, so what do I need to do? Because I really can't be bothered to take it all apart myself. Any chance you guys can do it today? And he went, we've done it, mate, don't worry, no charge. Done. And that was it. So, 20-30 minutes. They took the panels apart, put the coolant in, no charge. That is service. That is like, it's not going to cost them really any money. A little bit of coolant, a little bit of time, but that will make me come back. That will make me buy more bikes from them. That will make me always bring my bike to them whenever I need something done. And whenever I've got a question about my bike and I'm not sure, I take it in, and they're really patient, and they'll sit with me and they'll go through and they'll say, you know, well, this is what you need to do and all that. And you know, another good example is when I first got the bike, I cleaned it, and then after I cleaned it, the brake lever for the back brake was sticking a little bit, and I had to keep using my foot to lift it up. And I thought, oh, what the hell's going on with this? So I took it in. The guy said to me, hold on a minute. And he got out some of that spray grease and he sprayed it around, and he went, and he fixed it. And he said, have you just washed the bike? And I went, yeah. And he said, look, when you wash the bike, you're going to move grease. You know, you're going to get some of the grease and lubricant out of things, and you need to use some of this stuff and just spray it around. And he said, look, let me show you. And he took me through all the bits of the bike, and he said, look, you want to do a bit in here, a bit in there, you want to do a bit of this. And I was just like, you know, again, no charge. And it was awesome, absolutely awesome. So that's my experience of BMW Maidenhead. Cannot rate them more. They are very good, very professional, and they do go above and beyond. And that's the reason when I start looking at my next bike, and that next bike is probably going to be an S1000 XR, I'll be going to them. So what's your experience, guys? How have your dealerships been with you, and what things have they done that makes you want to keep going back? Comment, subscribe, like, all that jazz. Anyway, I've been Calplift. You guys, as always, have been awesome, and I shall catch you later. Oh, it's bit of road. Every fucking bend in this bit of road has got drain covers on it. Like on the bit, like there's one here, see? So it puts you right over in the gutter. There's one there, there's another one, there's like three back there on that bend. Like, fuck off, you cunts. Why don't you put it somewhere out of the way? Think about, I wish they would, and these slow things, they put these slow things on the bend. It's like, look, why can't you just think that actually a motorbike might go around this, and it's this fucking paint you put on the ground and the covers that you put on the ground are really fucking slippy. So do you know what? Don't put them on the bend. Just put them before the bend. We'll be alright. We can go straight over them. Arsehole.